Alrighty, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Sonic the Video Game Fan, and welcome to episode 7 of my Let's Review series. On today's review, I will be reviewing on Crash Team Racing. If you thought I was going to review Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex, well, I hate to say this, but I said something in my other video on my update on this Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex review. I had no choice but to postpone that review indefinite. For how long is anyone's guess? So I am returning to the Crash Bandicoot series, but I am going on to the Crash Racing and Party titles. I will get to Crash 4 soon, but I want to get a chance to review these party games first. So let's begin my Crash Team Racing review. So when Mario came out in the 80s, in the 80s/90s, Naughty Dog wanted to do something that hasn't been done in the Crash series, doing a racing game. They just made. That's what they made. Crash Team Racing. Yes, I do own this game, and it's unopened, and I do own a PS2. But the problem is, I don't have an HDMI converter to play my PS2 games and basically my PS1 games on the big LG OLED television. So I'll go and talk about it. So let's get down to the plot of CTR. The plot begins when Crash friends and foes are preparing to enter a race tournament, but nitrous oxide traveled from space to offer a challenge. He was being claimed as the fastest racer in the entire galaxy. To test his skill, he decides to challenge Crash and friends and foes in the survival of the fastest. But rules needed to be mentioned. If Oxide wins, he'll turn the world into a parking lot and making every inhabitant turn into his slaves. But if the Earth drivers win this challenge, he will get out of here. All the characters prep up to race. The Earth Racers need to prove their worth by collecting 16 trophies in order to defeat Dr. Oxide, and later race and get the 4 boss keys by defeating the Ripperoo, Papu Papu, the Komodo Bros, and the Pine Stripe Potato. When the Earth Racers complete this task, they get challenged to race for the fate of the planets. The racers are victorious, but they aren't the fastest unless they can collect all relics and race Oxide again. After collecting the 20 CTR tokens and won all the 5 gym clubs, every player confronts Dr. Oxide with all of the 18 relics and race for the title. In the end, the Earth Racers win, and Dr. Oxide admits his defeat, and leaves. That's how Crash Team Racing is all about. That's how the plot goes. Now let's get to the levels. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a racing title. There's no levels. Well, there's tracks, but let's not jump the gun here. Let's get to the characters of the Crash Bandicoot series. There's around 15 characters. You start off with 8 characters, but along the way, you collect other characters. Some of them can be unlocked, while there are other characters that you need to be collected, and one character that relies on a cheat code. Let's start with the unlocked by default characters. First is Crash Bandicoot, Dr. Nitro Cortex, Tiny Tiger, Coco, Dr. N, Jin, Dingoldo, Polar, and Pura. Some characters can be collected by winning a gem cup in adventure mode and in time trial mode, which I'll talk about those in depth later in the video. So let's say for this. So for the Ripperoo, he has to be collected once you finish the red gem club. Papu Papu needs to be collected after. He can be unlocked once you complete the green cup. Komodo Brothers can be unlocked after completing the blue gem cup. The Pine Stripe can be unlocked after completing the yellow gem cup. and fake crash after completing the purple gem. You can get it. You can get any trophy by beating all of his time trials. And yeah, that's kind of the hard part. So good luck in that. The characters have their own unique, unique difficulties and stats, card colors, and the mask of either Aku Aku or Uka Uka. I'll give you an example. We'll start off with the main character of the Crash series, Crash Bandicoot. So his difficulty is an intermediate. His speed's 2/6, 2/4 of his acceleration, a third quarter of his turn. His car is blue, and he has a Aku Aku mask. That's it with the characters. Now I'll talk about the cups and tracks. Now, there are 4 cups in CTR. There's the Wampa Cup, the Crystal Cup, the Nitro Cup, and the Crash Cup. And do you know what it reminds me of? Mario Kart 64. Well, this is just only in arcade, so each of their cups have 4 tracks. In Wampa Cup, we have Crash Cave, Tiger Temple, Blizzard Bluff, and Coco Park. In the Crystal Cup, we have Ruse 2, Dingo's Canyon, Dragon Mines, and Sewer Speedway. The Nitro Cup has the Mystery Caves, Papu's Pyramid, Cortex Castle, and Tiny Arena. And finally the Crash Cup, which contains Polar Pass, Engines Lab, Hot Air Speedway, and Slide Coliseum. And yeah, now we can get to the Gem Cups, which Now we can get to the Gem Cups, where these Gem Cups relies on composed races. We get the red gem, the green gem, the blue gem, the yellow gem, and the purple gem. That's it with the cups and tracks. Now we get into the race. In Crash Team Racing, the objective is to go through each race and win. Get in first place, get the best record, and that's it. Nothing else to explain. This game has different power-ups. To get a power-up, a player must run into a question mark crate that contains either a power-up or a boost. There's the N-Brews beakers, which can be placed on the track or thrown ahead to cause a player to spin out of control. Second is the bowling bomb, which, yes, it can be rolled like a bowling ball in front or behind the racer. Next is the tracking missile, which can be locked onto a close driver. Then we get to the power shield, which protects the player from getting hit by an ongoing projectile. After that, we have the which can allow a quick speed boost. An invisibility mask, which, yes, you can be protected by an attack or an obstacle. It's either an Aku Aku or an Uka Uka mask, depending on the character. The trophy clock, which can make the other racers spin out and slow their movement for several seconds. And finally, the explosive crates, and yes, the explosive crates that have both the infamous nitrous bar explosives and the infamous explosives. They can be placed onto the tracks. It can be onto the tracks, and boom, you're dead. And so much more, which I want to talk about right now, but no, I'm okay. There are different modes in Crash Team Racing. There's an adventure mode, which the player can earn a variety of rewards to unlock new content for racing, like trophies, relics, boss keys, CTR tokens, and gems. Time trial, which you can race against the clock through each track to see who gets there in time. The arcade mode, which is a quick race on selections of tracks against other players, and a versus level is where you can allow 4 players to compete in a race, which is kind of fun because, well, you're playing. It's like Mario Kart 8, but boy, it's chaotic. And finally, we get to the battle mode, of the series, which allows four players to compete in either teams or free-for-alls, and it can range from depleting the player's lives, reaching a certain score, or gaining the most points. That's it for the modes. Now let's get on to the conclusion of this review. So what's my final thoughts of Crash Team Racing? Well, I found this game to be a I find this to be an okay but a great racing game. It's fun if you get, and it's really fun to play this because they got every mode. They even got the versus mode, and fun to play with friends. So what I recommend playing Crash Team Racing? Well, if you own a PS1, then by all means, if you do own this game, or if you play this one. But if you own a PS1 but don't own the game, you can still get you can probably get a game in your, well, it depends. So if you do have this, if you haven't played this game, I highly recommend you do so. It's really fun, and it's like Mario Kart 8, but 10 times better. Well, but no, it's okay like Mario Kart 8, but it doesn't play like it. But oh well. So that's going to do it for episode 7 of my Let's Review series. So we will get to episode 8, and we will continue the Crash Bandicoot Racing series with Crash Tag Team Racing. So that'll do it. Thank you for watching. As always, if you enjoyed, make sure to go ahead and rate and comment down below. And if you're new to Sonic the Game fan, subscribe and ring the bell icon to be part of the All-Star Gaming League. So you can be notified about the latest upload coming your way to STHGF. So until next time, I'll see you guys on episode 8 of my Let's Review series. Peace.